house. So what we're up here to do today, this evening, really quick, like two small things. First, I want to get my greedy cup water barrel irrigation system at least propped up. See if I can get any sort of joy out of that, if the idea is going to work, or if I need to come up with something different. And then second, the Death Mower needs some new iron. So I've got a blade I found in the dump, and it looks like it's about the right length, and I'm gonna see if somehow maybe it bolts on. And then if it does, we're done. And if it not, well, then I'm gonna figure out how to make it bolt on. No Shay today, he's a little sick, so I'm flying solo. Let's get her done. Alright, so it's siphoning down right now. Coming out of the barrel there. This is downhill. Why take all of this time and energy as opposed to just running a pressure system? Well, I want to do it with crap, right? Just the hose that is left over here at this place from back when they used to tap into the spring up on top, mostly because, you know, like I said, cheap. Also, I'm going underneath the highway. Who's to say the road crews won't rip it out? But also, this pump is not ideal. It's got a serious problem, a serious enough problem that they actually drilled a second well. So, especially later in the summer, if the year goes dry, the pump goes dry, and if I'm trying to build pressure with it and it can't flow any water, it's just going to burn right out, right? Whereas if it's not building any head at all, the pump probably won't build that much heat, and the little bit of air water that it does shove will be okay. I will admit she's pumping fast. I did not expect it to bring that barrel up 40 gallons that quickly. So this thing might only have to come on twice a day, and it might drain both times, but this should give me 35 to 40 gallons a head, and I have a second barrel if I need to. That will dump into the system, and it'll simply gravity feed. So right down there on the other side of the road, that's where one of the banks of fruit trees is going to be. It really lets you see just how much work we did and how little we actually touched the brush. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's where the fruit trees are going to be in a row right there, and I think there's going to be 4 of them down there. I don't know how much bare roots are going to want to suck per day as they acclimatize, but 80 gallons or twice a day seems to be pretty reasonable on my part. So this thing is going to pull down until, it's going to take a while because this is draining a lot slower than it's filling, which is good, you know, that way it'll take some time to soak in. Anyways, this yeah, 80 gallons twice a day spread out over 10 trees. It doesn't sound like enough, does it? And then the other ones are going to be right down there. Oh, my neighbor's got to think I'm crazy, and I know he watches, which is good. I'm not complaining. Right down there. So this will Y, and a run will go down there, and then the big run will go down on the other side. And I was going to adjust the water flows by the judicious act of those there that feed those trees, which will need less water because there'll be fewer of them. That hose is going to run across the road. It's going to get squished. And once it gets squished, it'll flow less water. It's almost as if the plan makes itself. Genius. So let's go turn that pump on and time just how long it takes so that I know how long I need. There's the well. She's running. Let's go see how long it takes to begin puking. Please understand the well is putting out a crap ton more water than it appears to normally. Alright, we are almost 3 minutes in, and the fill hose just went underwater and it began weeping out the side of my ever so precisely pickaxed siphon hose. So any moment now, the greedy cup should commence. There she goes. It is nice to see gravity so well behaved. I think what's going on here is the well is injecting air bubbles, and that's why I don't have a steady flow. Anyways, so we're at 3 minutes 20. Maybe I don't need to worry about the siphon setup. Maybe I could just go ahead and, I better turn this thing off. Maybe I could just go ahead and run pressure to the trees and just tell the pump to come on for 10 minutes or whatnot. It's just, at the end of summer, there are times when the pump won't run for 10 minutes before it runs out of water. And I'm still concerned that if I try to let it burn, it'll build up any pressure. She is going to burn out in the hole. I mean, it may be no good, but still, I need it. At least for a little while. And I know we got a little pisser over here, but I can plug that with a wood chip. I can plug that with a wood chip too. The barrel's a little more rotted than I anticipated. My pick went deeper than I wanted when I made my precision hole. This might just be a level of complexity that I don't need. I was going for redundancy, so I didn't have to run my pump very long. My original thought was 10 minutes every few hours. Now I'm wondering if I should just run it 5 minutes twice a day. And that would, in theory, fill my barrel twice. And if we're at the point where the water level is down and it can't fill the barrel in 5 minutes, should be able to fill it in 10. And that'd give, that pump shouldn't overheat in 5 minutes. Huh? I don't know. Questions, theories, ideas. Let's go reshoe the Death Mower. And we'll let this just chooch and drain, and who knows, maybe I'll do it a third time. There's our cavernous culvert, and my current thought, tie a string to a pop bottle, float the pop bottle through, tie the string to the hose, snake the hose down through. It would come out of there, and then, you know, like I said, we want to put the trees not right in there. The road easement's 60 feet wide. I don't know if you can assume 30 off the center line or not, but I wanted to get the trees basically out into here. I wish I'd cleared a little more of this. I guess we can always come back and do it again, so that I'd have room to come alongside the trees, basically put the trees sort of in line with these stumps right through here. That's the idea anyways. So that thing will come out, water, 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 water. And from up there, she should have quite a head of steam. No pumps, all gravity feed through, I don't know, some sort of soaker, or just let it run raw on the ground maybe. Find a way to neck down the first one, because it's going to get less water as she goes along. The thing I'm not a fan of with this little stream is the sickly sort of grayish tinge to the water. Now normally I would associate that with sewer contamination, soaps and fats and whatnot dissolved in it. But there's no foaming. And I know she's not a roaring stream, but there's enough ripples and bubbles that I would expect to see some foaming if there was in fact sewage contamination in it. And I'm hoping that since it's the runoff of that mountain, that this is just essentially glacial silt that gets kicked up and carried down these various little draws. Super fine particulate matter. I know that the big pocket of glacial silt up there is kind of a grayish color. All the same, I've asked Shay not to play in it, and I fully intend to have it tested. All we're looking to do left, I think I've said this before, I want to continue this path into the pine barrens there. I have never set foot ever on that side of the property. I fought my way up to this stream down by the river, and obviously we fought our way to here, but I've never crossed over. Shay has, but I never have. To see what, if anything, is out in there. He'll be happy to know there is some birches still alive out in there. And at least this cottonwood tree and this cottonwood tree have not been ringed by beavers. So some of them might still live. That's awesome. But I want to put a footpath, right? So I can come across the driveway and then down so that nobody gets splattered on the road. Well, let's go look at those lawnmower blades. Well, I think we all knew that the chances of a dump mower blade fitting were probably pretty small, and it's got a different mount completely, unfortunately. This is the Death Mower blade. You might remember when we built it, it had both of those metal ears, though one of them was cracked. Now it's a bit of a Batman wing right there. Get a stump. Oh, there's the fuel train going through. Same length. It's pretty loud today. Maybe it's a whisper longer. I don't know. Sure looks to me like I could, I know, and safety Nancy's are going to blow their top here, but sure looks to me like I could cut it off there and, you know, cut these blades off here and actually weld them on. It might be getting a touch cheap, even for me. This blade is much heavier duty than that one. Sure, I could figure out how to balance it. But then the whole back of this thing is plastic. What are the odds that she'd throw a cutting end and send it right back through my legs? Probably pretty high, don't you think? Yard machines. It's a different shape. There were two of them. Alright, this one's got these sexy curves. Mine clearly doesn't have the sexy curves in it. There were two of them. There was one that matched mine exactly, and had reviews with words like cheese and soft. And then there was this one, but that doesn't seem to. For $1 more or whatnot, so it also said it was thicker than standard. So I'm going to go with that rather than weld them together. I'm kidding. Don't weld lawnmower blades. I would never admit to have done that in the past. Craig's Garage, direct fit, thicker metal, decent edge. So we're gonna do that. So no iron for the Death Mower today. She's just gonna sit out here and enjoy this wonderful river view. And I'm gonna bring one in and mail it to Montucky. Put her on. Thanks for coming. Obviously, if you have thoughts on the Greedy Cup watering system, whether it'd be better just to dump the pump directly into these lines. Whether you think I'm right, that letting it pump against nothing and run for a handful of minutes and whatnot a couple of times a day is a better choice, then I'd love your opinions. And, you know, if you want to call me a yellow beller card for not welding those two together, you can do that too. Either way, I get paid. So, thanks for watching.